So I was contemplating whether putting this up on my hockey channel or my own personal channel, but felt like this would be a good one to upload on TSP because we talk about, you know, sometimes the struggles we face in life, and I felt like this be kind of a good platform to continue this on. So, title of this video is Mr. Soldier quits live streaming. Now, Soldier, if you're reading this, I actually hope you do. I'll probably at you in the title. You probably remember me, Captain Paul, from back in the Call of Duty days. It was a few years, but it's actually several years since I was producing content. Got back into content creation this year, and you know, I've gained a pretty good hockey following. That's where I decided to go into. I have stumbled across your streams, and me and you, we had our differences because of I didn't like how something went down, but you know, water under the bridge. I'm over it at this point. When I saw you say, hey, I'm going to be quitting live streaming, and because I tuned in, I watched it, and man, I was kind of shocked. Mr. Soldier is a Warzone streamer, Call of Duty streamer. When I used to make videos, he would make like gameplay commentaries. He was on Thunderstruck Gaming, has a heavy affiliation with 402 Thunder 402. And he made pretty damn good content in my personal opinion, and he would add his own flair to it. Now, he went down the whole live streaming wormhole and found some good success. I did pop in from his live stream time to time, and unfortunately, just because usually I'm working or I have things going on or I'm editing, I would have it in the backdrop, but I would listen in and kind of see some of the funny reactions or just, you know, a little bit of the gameplay as well. I kind of want to go into this video and talk about sometimes how, how would I put this? How content creation can be a struggle, and it can be very difficult. And when you're seeing maybe what you perceive as a lack of growth, it can get a little bit, it can get tiresome. I'll fully admit.
I said yesterday, I'm bored. It's boring. So I don't feel like streaming. But I never said I couldn't make a video. I'm making this video today, guys. I'm gonna be very transparent with all you. I know there's gonna be a lot of people listening here, so I gotta be careful and try to say things in the best way that I can. First of all, I'm a very different streamer from a lot of other streamers out there. I'm not saying I'm the best one out there. I mean, I'm definitely not. I mean, if I was, I wouldn't be here saying, hey, it's boring. But I know we still got people around. We do still got a lot of good people, man. I appreciate all the good vibes in the comments. That was very nice from you. I appreciate the people that reach out in DMs. Which, by the way, also shout out to my homie Chris the Pepsi, man.
So now I tried to reach out. Your Discord was closed, and we haven't talked like DMs in years, right? We had our differences, and I kind of went my way, you went yours, but I kind of seeing you in the journey blow up to 70,000 subscribers. I thought, wow, like hats off to this guy. He's stuck with the grind, and he's really pushing. He's really doing his thing. And if you want to watch the video in its whole complete form, link will be down below in the description. You know, and I kind of wanted to show the brief intro, brief clip. He talks about being bored. He talks about he has other means of income, and just like only having a few people in the chat can get tiresome. And he talks about streaming for 6 hours a day, like going to work in the quarry and then coming to, you know, stream for 6 hours, barely having any interaction with his baby daughter. And by the way, Soldier, congratulations on having the baby girl. That's amazing. I think that's a beautiful thing. When you become a parent, a lot more things get put in perspective. And, you know, let's be honest, raising a kid is far more important than any type of internet clout. I'm going to give you some honest and raw feedback, Soldier, and I don't want you to take this in a negative way. Now, you talk about the chat being, like, there not been anybody in chat, it being boring. Have you ever kind of considered maybe switching up games, so, you know, changing up? Because I did go through even more of the back catalog. Like, you're mainly a Call of Duty streamer. why don't you try different games? Why don't you try different and fun things? Like maybe you try a different game that is kind of, I would say, less toxic, because that's also something you complain. The game itself is just full of cheaters, and then there's also just the super sweats that make the game unfun to play. Like, why don't you consider like switching to a different game, like trying different game modes? Or I mean, yeah, if you want to stick with Call of Duty, why don't you do like TDM, domination, or like round war? Like do something completely different, so you feel less of I would say a slog when you're battling content creation. Because I can understand, you know, for the past year and a half I've been making hockey videos. I can understand burnout, and I think what I'm seeing here from Soldier is burnout. He's burnt out. Live streaming 6 hours a day, I think like 5 or 7 days out the week, that's a lot. Now some might say, oh, we're just playing a video game and all this, but like you have to kind of try to perform, you have to try to be entertaining, and you have to kind of schedule your day around it, and it's not ideal. It's not a good life. Like these are the key takeaways I'd have and I'd give you, Soldier, if we could talk in person. I'd say first off, change up the games. Change the variety. Maybe you get some more people. Maybe you get some more active people in your chat. It kind of ingratiates yourself into a different audience, someone that's not going to watch Call of Duty. Because let's be honest, Call of Duty doesn't help you either, because the game sucks. Let's just be honest. The game really does suck. So that's not doing you any favors either. Number 2, you do not have to do 6-hour streams. You do not have to stream as long as you do. And you don't have to do it as many days out of the week you do. What might be good for you, because this is what a lot of streamers do, they'll have like a Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or a Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. Give yourself a break, man. Give yourself a break. You need it. If you're just gonna keep pounding the pavement, keep 6-hour streams and not seeing the end, that's gonna drive you fucking crazy. So for me, lessen your schedule, lessen the demand on yourself. Because a complaint he had was that he doesn't have enough time to spend with his daughter. Your child always comes first. And I think any viewer would understand that. Like, put your family first. Lessen the amount of days you stream, the lessen hours, and people will be fine with it. I think, actually, generally, when you have less frequency, you'll get probably more viewers, more streamers, because you'll be less of like an everyday thing. I think subconsciously with some people, like, oh, he always streams every day, I'll just catch him the next day. Like if you're a Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, or Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or like somebody like 3 days out of the week, or even 2 days out of the week, people will be more inclined to probably just completely tune in and make sure they don't miss a Soldier stream. My next advice for you would be this. Listen, you've made content for a lot of years. I do think it would probably be better for you to have more custom videos, like not completely what you used to do, but making highlights or clips or more of that on your channel. Because when I looked at your channel, you do have some of those videos where you have an interaction with a guy, like a stream sniper, for example. I think if you made like 1 or 2 of those a week of different videos where it's a little bit more production style and you can kind of add a little bit more flair to it and add like more flavor to it, I think that would also help out your channel immensely as well. As someone that, like, when I started doing the hockey, the only reason I'm correlating this, and I know because, you know, I'm at 5,700 at this, 5,700 at this point in a year, which is pretty good. And he's way bigger than me in that regard, channel size, because he's been doing it for a while and he makes good content. But when I was making content, when I came back into YouTube content creation, the first videos I made, like, it was more in person, more in podcast. But then I decided to, you know, add flavors, start doing clips and highlights, and then intermingling, doing like this style of in person as well. Like, add variety to your channel, because I think that would help as well. And then also maximizing your usage of shorts. Like, if you want to grow on YouTube, you have to have a certain amount of dedication you put to it. Now, shorts, I'll fully admit, I don't put too much into shorts, and I got to be far better in that regard. But you know, for me, that's just kind of advice if you're getting struggled, like if you're struggling with the lack of growth and viewership on your channel. I think variety would help you immensely. I think changing games would help you immensely. And listen, Soldier, I'll close it in this, right? We had a good brief conversation months back when I came in your stream, dropped the super chat, you know, wanted to check in, you know, a little captain in you. And that was funny. And I genuinely want you to find happiness. I want you to be good. because that's the most important part, man. The YouTube stuff is great. The internet stuff is great. But I think stressing yourself out about numbers, it just try a few different things. And also appreciate the audience that you do have. You have 70,000 people that hit that subscribe button. You do have a frequent membership. I mean, you do have a membership group. You do have frequent viewers. Don't poo-poo that. Like, be very thankful for that. It seems like you are, but as someone that was kind of, I would say, like came into the whole content creation at the same time, while I did take a massive, like, several year hiatus, I would just say to you, take a step back, put things in perspective, and realize how blessed you are, because so many people would love to be in the situation you are. Your fan base, you can bring people back, soldier. Just maybe be less hard on yourself and be more appreciative for what you have. I think you've done a phenomenal job growing your channel. Shit, I remember when we were around the same channel size, on like when I was Captain Paul, a few thousand subscribers. We both had like a few thousand subscribers, and then Thunder was constantly shouting you out, giving you love. And then you kind of grew. You were like 10K and stuff like that. I mean, look at what JD from NY has done. He has beautifully grew a brand from the Call of Duty community and changed up. I'm not saying you have to go away from the gameplay stuff, but I actually think, I'll say this, I'll add this. If you added kind of like a talk show, variety, different type of segments, and you made that type of content as well, like in addition to the Call of Duty, if you want to keep doing that, I think you would kill it. And that's my personal opinion. I hope the best for you. I hope you figure it out. If you ever want to talk, phone's always free. I mean, we have mutual friends. So, I mean, reach out to JD or whatever if you want to have a conversation. But don't take what you have for granted, because a lot of people would love to be in your position. And I think just being a little bit less hard on yourself and giving yourself some breathing room would be really good for you. Don't force yourself 5-day streams. Don't do that to yourself. There's 6-hour streams. Like, do a few hours out the day, few days out the week. Give yourself a break. Don't stress it. So I'd like to, like to say to Soldier Man, hope everything is okay. I'm glad to hear, happy baby, and life seems to be going really well for you, and I'm immensely happy for that. If you ever want to talk, man, you know how to find me. Later.